Alright, in this video we're going to do problems 28 and 32 from R.3 in the back of the book. So let's see, the first problem is asking us to multiply our answers together, make sure your answer is all simplified. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to analyze each part of this and see what we can factor. So this is only two terms. We're going to pull out the greatest common factor, which is 6, and that leaves us with r minus 3 over. The bottom is a trinomial, the denominator, so I'm going to try to set this up for factoring trial and error. So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and look at the signs here. Since it ends with a minus sign, we know the signs have to be positive and negative. You have to look at what you can multiply together to make 9r squared, like 3r and 3r. We have to look at 24. You have multiple combinations. You have 8 and 3, you have 6 and 4. Let's go ahead and try a 6 and a 4. Let's see what comes out of this. Did we get the 6 in the middle like we wanted? The outside is negative 12. The inside is 18. 18 and negative 12 makes positive 6. Wow, bingo on the first one. That was lucky on the first one. Times. Now I'm going to go ahead and factor these two terms, which are the greatest common factor between a 12 and a 16, which looks to be a 4. So I'm going to factor out the 4, and that leaves us with 3r minus 4. In the denominator, we're going to factor out a 4, again, greatest common factor. So that leaves us with r minus 3. Okay, let me go ahead and change colors. And when you multiply fractions together, you're allowed to cancel from any numerator to any denominator, okay? As long as you don't cancel left to right, you're okay. You can go up and down, you can go across this way, but you cannot go left to right. So I'm going to look up here, for instance, I see an r minus 3 and an r minus 3. I see a 3r minus 4 and a 3r minus 4. I see, let's see, what else do I see? I see 4s. I also notice that, you know, from the very beginning, these two have a greatest common factor. I'm going to take care of that on the next step, but I should have done it first. It would have made our trial and error a little easier. I didn't recognize that all three of these terms have a greatest common factor of 3. And if I'd have pulled that out first, it would have made our trial and error much easier. But I got lucky on the first try. But let's see what's left here. First of all, there's only a 1 over here. That's all that's left. That's all that's left here. 6 times 1 is 6. The only thing we have is one fraction with a 6 in the numerator. In the denominator, this is the only term that's left, but I'm going to factor it. I'm going to pull that 3 out and see what's left. Well, it should be r plus 2. Now, the reason I did that is because I'm going to change colors again, because 3 and 6 will reduce, and 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 6 2 times, and that means our final answer to the question is 2 over r plus 2, and that completes number 28. Now we're on to number 32. 32 is a division question. Now remember, with division, it's the same problem, except you are going to multiply by the reciprocal. So let's go ahead and first take care of that so you can see exactly what this does. Remember, when you're doing your own work, you can kind of do a couple steps in one. But for us, right now, we're just learning. I'm going to go ahead and leave the first fraction completely alone. I'm going to change division into multiplication, but I'm going to do the reciprocal of the second fraction. So we have y squared plus 4y plus 3 in the numerator, all divided by y squared plus 3y plus 2 in the denominator. All right, so we're going to go ahead and factor each one. They're all quadratics. It's all a little trial and error, but it's easy trial and error because they all start with 1y squared. So let's go ahead and do that first one up there. Let's set up the parentheses. So we have to have a positive and a negative to make a negative here at the end. So that would be y times y. And to make a positive 1 in the middle, I would have to have a 2 here and a 1 here. And that would give us a negative 1y and a positive 2y, which makes positive 1y. All over. In the denominator, we're going to set up the same type of situation. We have to end with a negative again, so it has to be plus and minus. It has to be, again, y times y. And then I know that 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 minus 1 is 3. But I need a positive 3, so the 4 would have to be first with the positive sign, and the 1 would have to go with the negative sign. Times. Then we're going to set this factorization up over here. So that means we need all plus signs here, so that means we're going to have all plus signs here. And y times y is y squared. And 3 times 1 is 4, so 3 and 1. In the denominator, we have 2 plus signs again. So that would be y times y. And 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 plus 1 is 3, so 2 and 1. I'm going to go ahead and change to blue again, and you can cancel anywhere up and down or diagonal, but you cannot go left to right. So let's see, what do I see? I see a y plus 2 with a y plus 2. There's y minus 1 with y minus 1. There's y plus 1 with y plus 1. And nothing else cancels, and your final answer will be y plus 3 divided by y plus 4. And that completes number 32, and that completes this video.